Jeez. Aztec Safety online course. Ground disturbance. Could have used that a few seconds ago.
The 2025-2026 Grand Slam of Curling schedule is out, with big events happening all over Canada, like the Masters heading to London in September, the Tour Challenge from Nisku this October, the Canadian Open from Saskatoon in December, and the Players' Championship from Steinbeck coming in January. Early bird weekend and full event passes on sale now at gsoctickets.com. Let's rock!
Aztec Safety is #1 for online safety training.
Aztec Safety is the proud sponsor of the Aztec Safety Challenge, the #1 event on the World Curling Tour.
And Aztec Safety has been a proud sponsor of Team Jacobs on our quest to represent Canada at the Olympic Games.
Welcome to the RockShop.net, the official store for the Grand Slam of Curling. Whether you're looking for the best hats, stylish clothing, fun toys, or unique accessories, the Rock Shop has it all. Shop online anytime at therockshop.net for exclusive Grand Slam of Curling gear, or come see us in person at your next event. Therockshop.net, where fans find their favorite curling gear.
For over 20 years, the Sandra Schmirler Foundation has granted more than $9 million to hospitals across Canada for life-saving equipment for premature and critically ill babies. In the past 4 years alone, $4 million has been granted thanks to the curling community's incredible generosity. The need continues year-round, and with your help, we can ensure every baby has the chance to grow up and become a champion, just like Sandra.
Developed over a decade in collaboration with the finest ice makers this side of the Atlantic, the Pebblehead PB5 is nothing short of a triumph of sophistication and craftsmanship. Weighing less than half its lumbering copper predecessors, yet boasting tenfold their durability, the PB5 delivers perfect, consistent ice, time after time. The PB5 by Pebbleheads.com, the apex of ice-making ingenuity for the roaring game of curling.
I have an idea.
Brett, come on man, I know Aztec's #1 for online safety training, but we really should be out here practicing.
I know, guys, I'll be right there. Just let me finish this course on gas detection. Wait, do you smell that?
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
Hey Mark, you ready for this game tonight?
Yeah, I'm excited, man. Cupsy, what are you doing over there?
Don't worry, boys. Was just on AztecSafety.com, took a fire extinguisher safety course. Paul, I'm putting out the fires from now on. Woo!
So with the impact to my business and income, will this delay my retirement?
I know you're worried, Marshall, but based on the original plan we came up with, you're only about 6 months behind.
I thought it would be years, not months.
You should feel good. Remember, you've got a plan.
Thanks.
With change comes questions. See the impact of your money decisions before you make them with RBC Wealth Plan.
Aztec Safety is #1 for online safety training.
Aztec Safety is the proud sponsor of the Aztec Safety Challenge, the #1 event on the World Curling Tour.
And Aztec Safety has been a proud sponsor of Team Jacobs on our quest to represent Canada at the Olympic Games.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome once again to the Curling Stadium live coverage from the RBC Dominion Securities Western Showdown, live in Swift Current. My name is Sean Joyce, joined for this evening's broadcast by Jason Chang. We've got Connor Sims on production, so if you see anything wrong with the scoreboards or the hammer, that's Connor. You can direct your emails directly to Connor. And this is qualifying action. Jason, welcome this evening.
Yeah, good evening, Sean, and yeah, you can DM Connor at any point during the broadcast. But a big matchup here. Obviously, the winning team goes into the Final 8, into the quarterfinals, and we've got two very well-known teams here, Kevin Cooey and Joel Retornaz of Italy.
Yeah, Joel will be looking to peak soon, home team in the Olympics.
Yeah, the Milano Cortina 2026 Olympic Winter Games. And of course, Team Cooey, they've also got an Olympian going as well, or a future Olympian, Tyler Tardy, going out the alternate for Team Canada, Team Jacobs.
Mm-hmm. We had an interesting format here in Swift Current with 24 teams. They played 6 pools of 4, round-robin action, so everybody had 3 games. After the round-robin portion, they took the 6 pool winners and the next best 2 teams, and those 8 teams played basically a 1-game showdown. The winners moved into the playoffs, and the losers dropped down to play in this game. That was Retornaz. He lost that first-round playoff, dropped into this game. Then the next 8 best teams played off, and that was a winner-go-home game. So essentially 4 mini page formats to determine our 8 teams going through to the playoffs tomorrow. Kevin Cooey just got off the ice. He won a game at 6 o'clock to get into this match. For Retornaz, he lost that qualifying game at, it was scheduled at 11:45 this morning, so he's had quite the break. Cooey's on the back-to-back. We'll see whether that makes any difference. Cooey did get the hammer here.
Long day.
Long day for Retornaz, for sure.
Yeah, long wait for Retornaz. And Kevin Cooey came off that 6-4 win earlier against Magnus Ramsfeld in that last draw. So an international matchup in that last game for Cooey, another international foe here in this qualifying game.
And we've got some rocks in play to get things started here. Nice tap back there for the Retornaz team, but not able to get that yellow all the way out the back. I do think it looks like Retornaz is sitting 2.
Yeah, if they're sitting 2.
There's a look at it from the overhead.
Yeah, not too terrible. They're sitting 2 right now.
There is a chance that there won't be any reds left in play after the shot. Aaron Sluchinski's going to give it a go.
Yeah, run back, try to catch the double here.
Yeah, and if you do, there's a chance it's coming across and getting the third one. Not going to get the second one, though. lose a staggered corner guard now.
No, just a little offline there.
Yeah.
Just going to throw up a guard here, right?
Yeah. So, this is my first chance to look at Retornaz's team in quite some time. So I'm going off the rosters I've got and hoping they're throwing in the right order. Sebastiano Arman, the second here.
Yeah, that does look
brush
like
on
Sebastiano.
With the brush down on the ice. That's Amos Mosaner. He's the third.
Yeah, the really tall guy.
The lead is Mattia Giovanella.
Yeah, Mattia Giovanella. Trying to carve this over to get the coverage.
And of course, the skip on the team, Joel Return, is in the house. You may be more familiar with that team than I am, Jason. Do you remember who holds the broom for Joel? Is it Amos?
I believe it's not Amos.
I didn't think it was.
It's sweeping.
For the Martin team, Aaron Sluchinski throws the second stones, but he will be the one in the house holding the broom. Tyler Tardy, we mentioned earlier, going to the Olympics as the alternate. He's got his brush down now. He throws the third stones. Carrick Martin, walking alongside, is the lead. Trying to sweep that over behind cover. It's not going to get there. It does sit for shot rock in the 8-foot, though. And of course, Kevin Cooey, the skip of the team, throws the last pair.
Cooey now sitting first and third stone, so this is an important shot here for the Italians if they want to get the force out of this situation. They got to roll it behind the guard. Try not to roll it too far to leave a double, or leave it open and leave a hidden roll behind the guard for Team Cooey.
Yeah. Well, they talked briefly about the double, which, it probably looks good. The problem is you leave them the hit and roll behind that staggered corner, and then you're probably giving up two.
Yeah, exactly. So trying to carve this over. A little roll, but not much. Here's a chance for Team Cooey, I think.
Yeah, well, forget about just two. Now, 3 is still in play. I'm surprised to see Kevin trying to roll this direction or certainly this far. You roll behind that staggered corner, and what does Joel do? He might have to hit the back one just to make sure he's not giving up a mittful.
Yeah, I like the roll behind that staggered corner, but I think they're going to try to go the other way here.
Yeah, that's the call. It just surprises me a little bit. Trying to group the red ones, I guess, and deal with it that way. Well, actually, he makes the double.
Or make it the double, and yeah, now they're sitting two, and that's nicely corner frozen almost, right? Just sitting.
Yep.
Well, good call.
Yeah, they were just trying to roll over in that direction and gets the absolute perfect roll all the way across, a little bit off and on with the brush. They know they're in the ballpark. As soon as they see the angle is right, and you see Aaron Sluchinski, when he jumped on the brush on that, he got behind it so that he could actually see that it was going right into that red stone. Good positioning by the brusher.
Yeah, it was really well played. I mean, Kevin played that with soft weight, and because he wasn't really trying necessarily to get the double, definitely didn't want to lose that shooter. He had to stick around, and if you happen to get it onto the corner, or even better, move it and get it onto the corner, that's an excellent result. And now you've got a chance to sit two, pretty spread out.
Tyler Tardy with his second. Carrick Martin on the brush, trying to hold it right there. Doesn't really want to roll on this one. Get a couple of inches, not bad. Joe looking at the either or. Probably preference would likely be to roll behind the red, but if you over roll it and end up in front of the yellow at the back, that's not bad either. You just don't want to under roll this one.
Yeah, absolutely.
And to answer our question from earlier, it's Mattia that's holding the Giovanella, holding the broom for Joel.
That's right, the Italian lead.
I didn't think it was Amos, and again, I haven't seen these guys. I don't think I've seen these guys all year. at any of the events that I've done. So
Yeah, well, Amish is so tall and so big. He's
Yeah.
by far the strongest sweeper on this team, and the other two are not weak at all by any stretch of the imagination. But you got to take advantage of the height and the power that Amish brings to this team.
yeah, it's I've had the opportunity to do a little bit of coaching before, and I can remember working with a young athlete, and they were just getting started out, and I can even remember saying to you, I can teach you a lot of things, but I can't teach you how to be tall. That just happened.
Did he get the double? Ooh, just under.
No, just a little light on the throw gets just the single. Not sure you want to come behind the red. They're just going to run it back.
Yeah, the run double would be there if you go around the red.
I think what Aaron's got to be worried about is if we go around the corner and make it good, Joel's going to come around the middle. He might. He's risking giving up 3.
I almost think Joel will take out the back stone if you go around the corner perfect.
Yeah, maybe. It depends where you are with this. Like if you actually could get around to just in front of the tee line and be biting the 8-foot. If he hits the back stone, he's still only second shot. You come around again, and 3's in play. Really depends on how well you make this draw. But there's a sliver of the 8-foot undercover here.
Yeah, oh, for sure. I'd be a little surprised if Joel goes around the center guard after this rock. If it lands in the house, I'd be quite surprised, but
He might chase to the corner. If you get a bite of the 8-foot dead buried, the hit on the backstone is still going to give up 3. So I don't think he's playing that. These are always tough at the start of the game because so much of that pregame practice is geared on that draw to the button. So here you're throwing in the first end. This is one of the first rocks going out to the corner, and it's a guess on the weight.
Oh, absolutely.
And not just for the thrower, also for the brushers who have to judge this on the way down.
If they didn't practice these inside-out draws, it might just be a hair slower if there's a bit more pebble down the middle, but this one's sliding just fine. And nibbling is the 8 shot.
Yeah, didn't quite bury it all the way though. So I think your point, he can go after the back one because he knows he can see that one on the next one if he has to.
I think this is Joel's last stone here.
Oh, yeah, pardon me. I'm losing track of the stones myself. Can't even blame Connor for that one.
No, I was gonna say, Connor, you're good.
Connor, you're good. Yep, that's all me.
Yeah, that's why I think he was going to hit this no matter what.
Yeah,
I don't think he was ever going to go around the center here.
I'm one shot behind.
I'm sure Cooey would have loved to have an extra 2 stones at the end.
True. Well, that's the nice thing nowadays. A lot of rinks, there's no divider boards, and you can steal one from the other sheet if you need to every once in a while. Just got to make sure your opposition's paying attention.
Yeah, my observation is the having the dividers is a lot more common in Western Canada than it is on
It is.
From my playing experience.
I will tell you this. I joke about the stealing of the rock. The other thing that I have seen far more commonly, and I've seen that mistake made a few times, with no dividers, since the 5 rock free guard zone came in, I've seen skips turn around and count rocks in the back corner and think, oh, I can peel now. And they were actually counting a rock that belonged on the next sheet. And I've seen that happen more than once. And now all the rocks have to go back.
Well, he's going to play the same draw for 2 points here. It'll be a great opening first end for Team Cooey. Looks like they're juicier than the first one.
Yeah, they haven't laid a brush to this one yet. Curling now, he should have a piece of his own. And the weight comes down as well. Put 2 points on the board for Kevin Cooey. He jumps out to the early lead here in this qualifying game. 2-0 early. Retornaz with last rock in the second.
Brett, come on, man. I know Aztec's #1 for online safety training, but we really should be out here practicing.
I know, guys. I'll be right there. Just let me finish this course on gas detection. Wait. Do you smell that?
The 2025-2026 Grand Slam of Curling schedule is out, with big events happening all over Canada, like the Masters heading to London in September, the Tour Challenge from Nisku this October, the Canadian Open from Saskatoon in December, and the Players' Championship from Steinbeck coming in January. Early bird weekend and full event passes on sale now at gsoctickets.com. Let's rock!
Trying to do it. First stone of this second end brought into the top of the button, and now Joel Retornaz is asking for the corner guard. This is where we'll maybe find out, Jason, how much of a factor is. It's been a long layoff today for the Retornaz team, and I didn't see the game, but I've heard that their qualifying game at 11:45 was not a particularly close game either. So you've got to stew on that for, as it turns out now, about 9 hours before you go out and face a must-win game. A lot of cases, you're better off if you could get right back on the ice after that.
Yeah, it is a bit of a long wait during the same day. You know, it's a bit different if you go home and rest and it's the next day that you play. But when it's the same day, you kind of feel like you're waiting around a bit. You can get a little bit restless, especially when the game didn't quite start on the 10 or the 9 Central Time. It was probably half an hour behind schedule. It feels like you're even waiting even longer. So
that center guard gets back to the center line, so it is in the no-tick zone. They're going to look to come around the corner guard. A little bit of a pop on the release there.
Definitely a bit of an in-out release. Wasn't really paying attention to how he threw that first one. I didn't quite see as big of a pop. Maybe he thought he was sliding a bit tight and needed that pop, because this is looking like a great shot coming around this corner guard.
Yeah, you can't get much more buried than that. Kevin Cooey looking at playing a tick on the corner guard. This is still just the 5th stone of the end, so that is a free guard where it sits right now. Cannot remove it from play, but he's going to try to move it over.
Yeah, this is a confident call. You must be very confident with Aaron Sluzinski's throwing right now to make this type of play. It's close. Perfect. Well, maybe not quite perfect. That stopped a little bit higher, that shooter.
Oh, you're fussy. you got the redstone open and the shooter's in the rings.
The redstone's still kind of a corner guard too, so if it
well,
went
it
over
is.
Another foot, then you've almost got perfection. Then that Yellowstone would have been right behind the guard.
Man, you're a tough scorer. I'm giving him 4 on that one.
Oh, I didn't say I wasn't going to give him 4. Give him a 4, but improvement's still possible.
It sounded like you were giving him a 3.5 at the best.
You know, my trick when there's scoring is the best way to get a good score is to tap every spot on the ice you possibly can and confuse the score so that it seems like you've made whatever shot was called because they didn't really know what it was.
Yeah, I must admit I watched some of the television games on the Briar, the Scotties, some of the Bonspiels, even the trials that just finished. And sometimes I think that's maybe what happened, because there's some scores out there that seem, let's just say, a tad generous. Looking to hit and roll on top of the situation in the forefoot. Just past the red one, but he does stay in a good spot in the forefoot behind cover.
It was a nice throw there.
Yeah. Are you running the guard? I think you're running the guard, aren't you?
I think you might have to right now.
It's getting pretty messy.
And you could potentially get all the yellows to disappear here and leave yourself another corner guard if you run it.
Yeah, for sure. I also understand their resistance to do that, because again, they know they're playing Kevin Cooey. You start hitting rocks and pretty quick you're going to find that all you got left is a blank.
I don't mind that as well, what Amish is calling right there. Having two red stones cornered onto the two yellow stones.
Yeah, having them both angled the same way kind of works for you.
That was actually my first instinct, was play the corner freeze. It looks like they've maybe gone to that.
Just cleaning so far. Still got plenty of room by the guard. Now sweeping from the offside, trying to get it to curl. Still trying to get it to curl. And the problem with sweeping for curl is you also carry it a little bit. Chips off. The shooter's not in a bad spot. You can kill one of those reds. You're never killing both of them. So I would expect Kevin will look to come down and just jiggle that a little bit, release the yellow, and then you should have a path to get rid of both reds.
Yeah, I like the little tap here. Just move the yellow one to the back of the button, maybe.
Yeah, and it'll change the angle on the reds enough that you might be able to get both of them out. You're not looking to move anything a bunch. Maybe the yellow, maybe 8 inches. The red will be less than that. But it'll pop out just a shade. Got to get to the nose, though. This has got a lot of curling to do.
Yeah, maybe just had a bit too much weight.
That still worked. He still got the angle to work okay, I think.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad.
I probably just got it far enough.
Yeah, now Joel has to think how he's going to get a couple points out of this. He has shot rock now, but how do you score multiples here?
Yeah, well, I'm thinking he might have to change the angles too. If he could get to the nose or just to the inside of that yellow one, tap it back a few inches. So now you've got the red yellow at the top would be angled to the outside. Because if I'm Joel, I don't like that it looks like there's probably a shot to kill both of those reds right now.
Yeah, I think if you throw it hard enough, both of those reds will go right now.
Yeah. But if you get to the nose or just a sliver to the inside, tap it, just jiggle it again, not even as much as just was done. And now the yellow is going to pop to the outside again. So your shooter and the yellow, the way they're angled, they're going to be angled to go wider instead of towards the middle. This is where I need the telestrator. Where's my telestrator, Jerry? It's all about angles, and these types of ends do get interesting to watch, and how the teams can manipulate angles. And again, that all these teams are so good at the hits that eventually, when the angles somebody's going to have a good angle and they're going to blast, and all their opposition stones are going to go and all of theirs are going to stay. That's the danger. So you're always got to worry about these angles. What's it leaving for the opposition, and try to manipulate it so your rocks are staying. Right now, it looks like the red stones are leaving, so Joel's got to try to manipulate this here so that Kevin can't get rid of all of them. You'd like it so that he can't ever get rid of more than one at a time.
Yeah, so they are going to rearrange this yellow-red-red combination here. Again, you don't have to move it a ton, I don't think.
No, I don't think so either. This looks like better line. Right to the nose.
It is right on the nose.
That's pretty good, because now, like I said, that red yellow, now they're angled to go towards the outside. So if you clip that red at the top of the forefoot, I think now it misses the other red and goes dead into that yellow at the back of the four.
Yeah, that's the way it looks right now.
That's it, and if that's right, that's perfect. You had to move it at least that far, but as long as it doesn't drag to touch that, and I don't think it does, it looks to me like you hit that with any weight. There's two yellows going likely.
Looks like they're going to throw weight at this here.
Yeah.
Sweeping that path just to get that red one to shoot sideways, and I think they're hoping that that red stone that's in the top four will come off of the other yellow stone and go out maybe.
With a little bit of drag, maybe. Drag on the first one so that they hit the second one a little thicker than it looks like they're going to. Well, they still touch the other red. Well, that's the kind of thing it's hard to see from a camera angle. From the overhead, it looked like it would go by that stone, but it just touched it.
Yeah, unfortunately, two of the reds stuck around.
Yeah, and it did kill the two yellows that we said were likely going to go if you ever played that with weight. Now, can you get to shot rock, though? That's the question. Not a lot of movement here in Swift Current. Usually one turn curls a little more than the other. You can see about, well, a good quarter, probably less than a third, though. There is decent finish coming into the house. If he can get half a rock, that's probably enough to get it underneath the other red. Sit three.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think if you get to half a rock, I think you can sit three here. So you have to be quite measured, quite controlled on your weight here. Like you said, only about 3 feet of the curl on the draw. So once you're going through to the weights that can push a rock through the house, it's going to be even less, right?
Once they're sure they're by, they switch sides to try to get the extra curl. Going to be fairly thin on it. I don't know if he's got enough to get it out. No. And leaves it for shot rock. But second, third, and fourth belong to Retornaz right now. There is a fairly makeable double. Pretty easy double by Kevin Cooey standards, sitting on the outside.
I think you have to play the double here.
Probably. Because you've still got shot on the other side. Retornaz might have to do something with that yellow, and how does he not leave you another double? And with that being a worry, does Retornaz just draw on the next one?
Yeah, I think Retornaz would just draw around.
Yeah, he probably has to.
Draw around the center guard, go top four.
Yeah. Then you hit the back one and maybe try to come off your own and spin up. And if you don't, well, he was probably getting two anyway.
Well, Kevin Cooey was quite impressive in the morning draw. He's playing against Ryan Jakes. Made a number of good doubles in that game. Preserved a couple of blanks.
Not going to get the double here. He hits that right on the nose. Now, that still does leave him sitting shot and third. Does that change the call for Retornaz?
Well, now I think it does. I think you've got to play the hit now. There's a chance that red stone on the 3 o'clock or 3:30 position can come into play.
Yeah. Even if you leave him the double, you're probably going to have a double back for two. They'll try to hit this and roll kind of in behind cover, even past the guard is okay.
Yeah, I think past the guard probably.
And then if Cooey makes the double, you've got a double off the yellow that's sitting on the other side at the tee line for the deuce yet. And no matter who you are, we just saw it, doubles are never a gimme. So if you force Kevin Cooey to make a double and he happens to not get them both out, you might have a shot for 3 yet.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You do, after this, you do need to stay full 8-foot. You do need to outcount that other yellow stone.
Yeah.
Force the double.
Yeah.
If you roll too far, then Kevin Cooey hits the red stone on the other side of the 8-foot. That double will be quite difficult if he hits and sticks. So.
Well, you need it to roll farther than that, too, because he can make that double, and there won't be a double on the yellows. It's too flat and too far across. You need it to roll enough to make him hit the one in the 8-foot first and come across to your shooter, but that didn't roll far enough over.
Yeah, exactly.
They almost swept that path across, like they're thinking if they can hit the deeper one first and into the side of the second one, they can almost make the triple. I don't know if they need to. It would be tempting to hit the other one first, the higher one first, hit the second one, spin up just a little bit, and then there's no double.
Yeah, I'm not even sure they need to spin up. I'm not sure Joel will take on that.
He
double.
may not take it on, you're right. But this looks like they're thinking triple. Well, he moves it far enough that the double's probably not there. Even if it was, you're going to jam on that red that was just thrown. So he'll just play the open hit on the shot stone.
Yeah, for a moment there, the Italians looked like they maybe had something going, but they are going to be forced to one here, facing two.
Essentially the same shot he just threw, though. He was looking for a bigger roll on the first one. A nose hit will be fine now. Sweep for Curl here. He doesn't have a ton of room to roll to the outside. He's got the nose.
Yeah, no problem.
Put the single point on the board for Joel Retornaz. He trails by a score of 2-1. It'll be Kevin Cooey and the team out of Edmonton with last rock. And we come back for the third.
Welcome to the RockShop.net, the official store for the Grand Slam of curling. Whether you're looking for the best hats, stylish clothing, fun toys, or unique accessories, the Rock Shop has it all. Shop online anytime at therockshop.net for exclusive Grand Slam of curling gear, or come see us in person at your next event. Therockshop.net, where fans find their favorite curling gear.
Developed over a decade in collaboration with the finest ice makers this side of the Atlantic, the Pebblehead PB5 is nothing short of a triumph of sophistication and craftsmanship. Weighing less than half its lumbering copper predecessors, yet boasting tenfold their durability, the PB5 delivers perfect, consistent ice, time after time. The PB5 by Pebbleheads.com, the apex of ice-making ingenuity for the roaring game of curling.
That's other place.
Welcome back for third end action, and unfortunately for those watching at home, you missed our Canadian geography lessons during the break. As we try to remember where everybody's registered out of and where they actually live.
Well, the geography was right on that draw, right around this center guard, top of the forefoot.
Look at you, Mr. Segway.
Yeah, I did the morning draw. Now I'm up for the evening draw, and still awake here.
So you're pulling the Joel Retornaz schedule pretty much.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm on more of the Cooey schedule myself. In fact, I was doing their last game, so. Nice come around. Did leave a little bit of a gap between the red and the yellow, but still a problem for Kevin Cooey.
Yeah, that redstone is still in a good spot there. Really the corner freeze. We talked about these being the qualifier games. Of course, there are some other qualifier games out on the ice.
I can tell you all the other games out in the ice are qualifier games, but I'd have to go check the scoreboards to see who they are. There's 3 more men's games out there and actually a couple of women's games out there. So all of the playoff teams will be determined after this draw.
Yeah, we got Laycock and McEwen out there right now. Kleider and Waddle and Blandford and Bruner. And of course, already through on the men's side is Mount, Van Amsterdam, Carruthers, and White.
Yeah, they got quite the field here this weekend in Swift Current. And part of that, they took advantage of the fact that Saskatoon next weekend has the Slam and the Tier 2 that go along with it. So a lot of these teams, especially some of these international teams, with an opportunity to play back-to-back weekends, they jumped on that chance and came to Swift Current. So it has made for a very strong field and a strong international field here in Swift Current. I'm sure a treat for the hometown crowd. You don't always get to see this many teams from this far away.
Yeah, great field on both the men's and the ladies' side.
It's like a slam field without being the actual slam. It's everybody's here just to tune up for next weekend.
And yeah, I think that's why the strength of field on both sides are pretty much maxed out here. Strength of field multiplier, of course, is used to calculate how many points these teams get when they finish the tournament or the world rankings.
The free guard zone is finished for this end, so Aaron Sluchinski looking to clean things up in the middle. Gets 1, gets 2, gets the 3rd, but loses his own shooter in the process. Nothing left out front now except for that one yellow guard, the shooter, that didn't quite leave, but it's not protecting anything in the rings anymore. And problem for Joel, if he tries to guard shot rock, there's a double left. So if you're going to come in, where do you not leave a triple?
Yeah, really early to be coming in with still 5 stones left. We can probably get a blank out of this.
Tough to guard though. What do you guard if you're guarding, Jason?
No, you're right. There is a bit of a problem with guarding as well. I mean, if you play the guard on the shot stone, Cooey makes the double and stuffs it right there. You could go around it, and you kind of are buried behind 2 guards. One of them is the Cooey stone in the house, but
yeah. And on the ice that we see most weekends where you got 5 feet of curl, you make that fairly routinely. It's tougher here. They're not getting quite that much curl. There's good late finish, but they're not taking a lot of ice for draws. It actually, as much as we haven't seen it played a lot, it seems like there's better movement to the corners.
Yeah, it didn't look like it in the last end when they were going around the corner guard.
And that's why it's been surprising me all weekend that you didn't see teams playing a little bit more aggressively with last rock, because it seems like you can bury around the corners a little easier than you can around center.
So Sebastian Armand has been asked to go into the rings and put a 3rd one in. I think they've avoided leaving a triple, but
yeah, and none of the doubles are exactly easy, but
yeah, a little bit thin on this top one. I think they'll take it on though. I think.
Yeah, it's thin on the 8-foot one to drive it towards the other one too. Then you're probably losing the shooter. So the one to keep the shooter is to hit the one that's just biting for sure.
Yeah, Kiwi was a little bit grimacing a little bit or hesitant about this one just because it's so easy for this shooter to spin upward and out of the house, and then the Italians can split the rings even better.
I'm surprised they threw that much weight at it, actually. And he just about made the triple.
Yeah, almost did.
And that might be why they played the weight. Now, he didn't indicate that they were looking at the triple, but you do have to get across the top of the second one a little bit to drive it towards the red. I thought they'd throw it quieter, and because you're hitting the first one so thin, you carry a lot of weight off your shooter into that second stone. Gets the first two easy and actually just about dead stuffs in fact, it was the back end of the third stone. He could have hit that. He probably needed just a hair thicker on the first one, come across the top just a little bit more, and he'd have got it out off the back end. Delicate shot here as he wants to pass it by the red and roll to the other side. Well thrown. Nice shot.
Yeah, really good shot there. I think Evan's going to try to make the hit, roll it over here.
Yeah, the angle's good for the double, and it's Tyler Tardy in the hacks, so you know he wants to throw it. It's a long distance between them, but it's about a half a rock double. So, and he doesn't have any problem throwing the weight to make this. Needs to hit half though. Might be a little thin.
A little thin, yep. And that's the problem with trying to go for the double. If you don't make it, now they can really split the rings.
Well, yeah, I can, but Kui's still got last rock, so you make a good one here. He's freezing to that other stone, likely. If you have to blast them out, then he's still back to a blank. He's not in any real danger.
No danger for Team Kui. Got a 1-point lead, so as long as they don't get the steal here, and of course, if they can ever generate the blank out of this, they'll be quite happy. To drag this back and get it even with the other redstone.
Yeah, they have to take it deep. As much as you don't always want to be behind the tee line, you know who you're playing against. They just missed the double on the last time, so you have to take it deep. Now I would expect, well, there's two choices here if you're Kevin. You could look to nose or try to group them that way. He's trying to hit and roll and get them closer together because you still got 3 shots left. So you've got, if you can get them grouped, you still got time to make a double. The other option is to play the freeze, and you hope that Retornaz has to blast it out and you get to a blank that way.
Board weight, hidden roll being called here. Try to group them, as we were saying, Sean.
Yeah, and he's got to get deeper. That's why the board weight didn't get as deep as they would have liked there. Returners can hit and roll back to the open side, and they'll have them open again. You throw the quieter weight with that, you're trying to hit it thinner and roll. You want that stone to end up behind the one on the other side, so that then when Joel hits and rolls back to the open side, he's going to roll deeper still, and then maybe you've got angle for a double. They didn't get deep enough on that one.
Yeah, exactly. Now Joel, he can make the hidden roll away and be even again.
Yeah, be even. Those are the places where I want my telestrator.
You put your request in.
7 or 8 times a game.
See if Santa answers your call this year.
Well, he wants to roll, but he definitely needs to stay. Good job on the brush to get a little bit extra curl there. And he will stick around.
Yeah, that's nearly perfect. And now you wonder whether Kevin will go and switch gears and play that phrase.
Well, I think he has to now.
I agree. I think he has to.
You don't have enough shots left to group them and play the double for the blank.
Of course, Kevin will take his time because there's 2 rocks to get freeze to decide the turn.
There really aren't 2 rocks that he could freeze to because he can only throw the out turn to get to one of them. So, and it's Kevin Cooey, so he's throwing the out turn.
I was trying to give him an excuse for talking about it.
Yeah. You guarantee you could get shot rock throwing to the other one, but and there's nothing wrong with this. Like, there's lots of guys. He throws his in turn absolutely perfect, but he's just more comfortable throwing the out turn. And when you've got the option, why not play your? He's so much confidence throwing the out turn. So he's going to throw the out turn, try to freeze to the one that was just thrown. The only downside I see to this one is if he's right on the nose, he might not be shot rock. And then Joel doesn't really have to play it. Going to be a little strong here and bounce off. He does have shot rock though, so Joel will have to play it, but nose hit, even if he rolls out here, as long as he doesn't take his own with it, he's going to get the force.
Yeah, that's a big force back. After only scoring 1 with hammer in that last end, being down by 1, get the hammer back, be down by 2, try to get your 2 in the 4th end. So.
Yeah, Kevin just a shade heavy on that. You know, if he's got the right weight for the freeze without the bump off, he probably is to half of that stone. And then it's tricky for Joel to get it out without possibly rolling out. You might see a blank.
All right, good shot there. Now we'll see, will Kevin play the same draw or will he draw to the pin?
Looks like he's playing the same draw. And, you know, with a shot like this, it's not even as much. I mean, the thrower is part of it. You just threw this shot, so you feel like you know it. But it's also the brushers. They just watched a rock down this path, so they should have a good idea of the speed. The thrower can only do just so much. The rest of it's up to the brushers. So now you've got 3. All 3 of them should be have the opportunity at least to have gone to school on the last one. They've got an idea what this one should look like. Just cleaning initially, a little harder scrub now.
It looks like it's curling a little bit here, so Card trying to hold the line here to keep beyond that backing. No problem.
Well, they've traded singles here in the last couple of ends. Now Cooey restores the 2-point lead. It'll be Retornaz with last rock in the 4th.
Hey Mark, you ready for this game tonight?
Yeah, I'm excited, man. Cupsy, what are you doing over there?
Don't worry, boys. Was just on AztecSafety.com, took a fire extinguisher safety course. Paul, I'm putting out the fires from now on. Woo!
Welcome to the RockShop.net, the official store for the Grand Slam of curling. Whether you're looking for the best hats, stylish clothing, fun toys, or unique accessories, the Rock Shop has it all. Shop online anytime at therockshop.net for exclusive Grand Slam of curling gear, or come see us in person at your next event. Therockshop.net, where fans find their favorite curling gear.
So with the impact to my business and income, will this delay my retirement?
I know you're worried, Marshall, but based on the original plan we came up with, you're only about 6 months behind.
I thought it would be years, not months.
You should feel good. Remember, you've got a plan.
Thanks.
With change comes questions. See the impact of your money decisions before you make them with RBC Wealth Plan.
It was 3 up coming home. Fourth end just underway. The first stone brought into the top of the 4-foot. Now Retornaz asking for the corner guard from Mattia Giovanella.
Yeah, really good force there by the Italians. They were already splitting the rings pretty early in that end, and they managed to avoid giving up a double late in that end and made Kevin draw against 3. So now they've got the hammer back and try to put up some points here.
The issue for a number of these ends, in fact, it's always about the setup of the end and then who's going to blast to try to get things. It was actually Cooey's team that tried to blast last end, and they got rid of all the guards, but they lost their own shot rock in the process, and for the rest of the end, the entire end was played in the house. So that would have been, was it not? By my recollection, it was the very sixth stone, the first time they could blast guards. All the guards were gone. There wasn't another guard in play, and they managed to hold the force for the rest of the end, and that's tough.
Yeah, if you know, the Cooey team, when they did go and blast, if they could have left one of the guards as a corner, then they may have still had a chance to go for their deuce if the blank didn't look particularly promising, right? And that end, the blank wasn't looking that promising throughout it, but so the corner guard kind of stuck around when they were blasting away. Could have helped them.
If they hit the run back just a sliver the other direction instead of the one they did, they probably don't kill their own stone out of the top of the 4-foot either. It's just one of those things that happens, but that's tough. It's, you know, credit to the Retornaz team. They had to take a look around at where they were putting stones a couple of times just so that they wouldn't leave easy doubles. You could never take away all the doubles. Aaron Sluchinski almost made a triple, but they managed to hold that force for 10 shots.
Yeah, and Team Retornaz going with the double corner guards now, or the 2 corners on each side, one on each side. They're going to try to throw a second one around the center guard.
Not going to be happy about that little bump off. Multiple choice now for Joel. Do you draw into those two? You do have the option if you so choose. You could. This is the 6th stone. You could make a play on the guard and just hit and roll to a corner guard. You might clip one of those on the way by too. He's going to make the play into the pocket. You straight freezing here, Joel, Jason, or do you want to tap these a little bit if you could? You might be able to pop both of them into the open. Looks like that's what they're playing. It's one. Yeah, didn't move the second one very far. Kevin asking for the outturn corner freeze on the red stone. Got to get it by the front one. Not going to. Now you don't want to roll that far and leave an opening. It probably did that too. Can the Retornaz team see enough of that to hit the red kill the yellow, have the red pop out in behind the corner and maybe roll behind the corner on the other side themselves. Sebastiano Arman looking to come down to the stones in the top of the forefoot. And early on this stone, sweeping hard from the offside, trying for some curl. Now it's really moving. By the front one, they'll look for a little bit more curl. They'd like to get on that same angle, just slightly across the face. Boy, that's really well made. Kevin Cooey's in some trouble now. Could probably kill the top red, but when you do that, you're going to drag the second one and maybe put it in behind the corner. That's what he's gesturing. You probably still have to give it a go. You're going to lose your yellow for sure. If you throw this hard enough, get a little bit of drag, they're hoping that it'll spin all the way out. We'll find out. By the front one, catches it very thin, not going to spin it very far. Actually leaves it dead in behind cover. Retornaz sits one behind the center guard right now. The problem for Joel, though, is that is a yellow center guard. Don't really have much choice right now. You got to come around the corner. You know the run back is probably coming. You just hope they don't dead stick it behind cover on you. Amos Mosener. Apologies for all the names I mispronounce, but I do the best I can. Looking to come down. Tuck around that corner guard and sit two for now. Gonna be deep. But it does stop in the back 12, and by getting that deep, it is pretty much completely buried. Does, however, leave lots of room for the Cooey team to try to freeze that front one and eliminate that stone at the back. A lot of room coming by. A lot of weight coming by. He's by the red one, and this will slide all the way through the back and out of play. That was not the type of miss they could afford. You're short there. Even if you just bite the top of the 8-foot, it's a usable stone. Now Retornaz looking at getting something up there just to keep them from being able to play that freeze again. And this is kind of dictated by the fact that that last one is so deep. In order to make sure it stays in a scoring position, you have to cut off the path to this freeze, even if you leave them the run. I don't know if you want to be, Amos talking about coming right down to it. I don't know if you want to be right down to it. If you're half around the guard, just nibbling the top of the 8-foot, if he's got to play the run back, he's not going to make the run back and be buried. Whereas if you're right to the face of the redstone, he could run it straight back. Nice come around to the corner on his first, albeit a little bit deep. Now looking to get up to the top of the house coming around the center for Amos.
Yeah, did they decide to just go to the top of the 12 here, or did they decide to go right to this?
Well, they discussed both, and I'm not sure what they settled on. I like it higher. Maybe not quite that high, but that's not bad. It actually probably stops Kevin from playing the run back.
Oh, for sure. I don't think you're playing the run back. Well, it seems like he's motioning for something up front.
Well, he's thinking about a run double.
Yeah, making the red double on the top 12 and the back 12?
Maybe. Like that one might make the most sense because then he leaves a yellow near the center line that he's got to run back on a shot rock. I mean, you could go over the top and try to get the shot stone, but then everything's on the corners. Joel comes around again and three's in play. No matter which double it is that he thinks he's going after, there's a lot of room between the rocks and a lot of angles to judge here. This is no gimme.
Yeah, and the problem with the outturn corner phrases, Joel could use that stone that they just threw and run it into it. So
yeah, they actually left theirs in a position where it's still usable. This might have overcurled. Gets the shot stone. Oh, gets the double the other way. The excuse me double. I don't think they looked at that one at all.
Yeah, you can see Tyler raising his hand in apology there. And that one was just was tight. They were trying to hit the other side of the rock. It overcurled and makes this double. Quite lucky there for Kevin.
Yeah, probably fortunate that they got by the one at the top of the 12, because if he just rubs that, he might not have gotten anything out. And it didn't miss it by much. Still, Joel's got a chance to come around with the shooter rolling over a couple of inches. He can't see a lot of that redstone anymore, so if you come around, he's not going to have a straight double. He might have to try the run double again.
Yeah, looking to draw this into a good spot here. Right into the top four.
That's pretty good. The run double's even tough because you go over the top of the red, drive it back, and it's pretty easy to jam the second one. But I don't see what else you play here. Any kind of draw, you bring three into play. It's not very likely that Kevin doesn't make contact with one of these reds.
Yeah, I agree with him leading by 2 points. I think he's pretty confident he'll move at least one of these red stones out. And if you catch it right, you could make the double.
You could, yeah. They're not very far apart. It's hard to tell if you dead stuff the yellow into the first red, does it catch the second one? I mean, it's close. You got him throwing the intern.
Yeah, you got him to the intern. I noticed that too. Looks close. Looks close.
Gets one, gets two, and boy, he almost ended up with the ray stone biting the 12th, but I think it's out. But it must be close because Joel's looking at it awfully hard.
Yeah, look at this shot.
Tyler got his brush down early, but it was Carrick Martin sweeping for a little bit of curl most of the way down. Gets just across the top of it enough to drive it back and kill the second red. And I think Joel has decided it's far enough out. We don't need to make a play at it. So just throwing this one away for the blank. Ernst Luczynski's going to take a look to decide whether or not they think they might need to measure it. Nobody's touched it yet, so I think they're going to let a few younger eyes maybe even look. They've gone to get the stick, I think. Well, I don't think they had made a decision yet whether they wanted to measure it or not, but I think it's going to go into the books as a blank.
I think they will probably call it a blank.
Okay, and so Retornaz keeps last rock into the 5th.
Hey Ben, what's the Aztec Safety online e-learning website again?
Yeah, that would be aztecsafety.com.
Fire extinguisher and firefighting. We'll send that one to Paul.
Ah, now here's a course I should probably take. Conflict resolution.
Power line safety. Yeah, I thought it might help me with my line calls. Did you know this Aztec website has over 100 safety courses?
Jeez. Aztec Safety online course. Ground disturbance. Could have used that a few seconds ago.
I have an idea.
Word from Jace.
We've reached the halfway point in this game. 5th end now just underway. Kevin Cooey with the 2-point lead still after the blank in 4. Retornaz still with last rock. The first stone of this 5th thrown to the top of the 8-foot. The corner guard goes up. Now Carrick Martin being asked, I think it looks like to come in once again, or is this a straight center guard? No, it looks like they're playing it in.
Yeah, they are going in here. I mean, Joel Retornaz and the talent team, they really set up a great end there. They really had a chance for at least 2, maybe even more. And Kevin made a really nice run double on the last one. A little bit fortunate on that first run double. Got out of it with the blank. So, I mean, well played by the Italians, but probably a little bit frustrated that he didn't get more out of that end.
Now at the point where he's willing to play double corners even in an odd end. And this is something, I mean, I talk about this lots and lots of the broadcasts. I come from a generation where we didn't worry about odd and even ends probably until the 6th of an 8-end game. But now most of these teams are thinking about it from the first end. So unusual to see a team playing double corners in an odd end. But we've reached that point, right? There's only 4 ends left to go and he's down by 2. Kevin Cooey knows that. That's why he's throwing all these rocks into the rings. He wants to group everything in the middle, force Joel to play there. And he will likely start peeling guards as soon as he's got the opportunity. This is still the 5th stone of the end, so we're still in the free guard zone. He can't peel anything yet. Well, he definitely wants to get us back to the center line, though. Pretty good. Well,
Double and roll is on here.
yeah, the double and roll, he didn't get it to curl quite far enough.
Yeah, I almost think with the Italian team, they know who they're playing. Team Cooey, they're very good at blanking. You could try to blank this one, and then you get forced into another blank in the next one, and now you're back to odd ends, except it's now the 7th end, and you've only got a couple ends left.
Well, it hasn't necessarily been the best surface to try to score deuces yet this weekend either. So you maybe are of the philosophy now that if we get a chance to score 2, we better just take it and not worry about whether it's the odd or the even. We'll try to get back to even, and then we'll worry about how to manipulate the hammer.
Yeah, to your point, the draws are only curling about 3 feet, and so it's hard to get around rocks and use rocks that are in the house to go around as well. So that's making it a little bit harder to put up, I think, bigger numbers.
They will finish, because here you see a stone that's, got by a 4 or 5 inches, and it will end up dead buried, but certainly not the same amount of curl that they're used to early. A lot of these teams used to taking 4 to 5 feet of ice to get around a guard, and you don't have to come anywhere near the guard to bury it. In fact, if it's just a lone single guard and you come tight by it, you're probably out into the open. It does mean the draws have to be a little bit more precise, which not necessarily a bad thing. But it also means, there are some shots that maybe the ice just won't give you.
This one doesn't look good.
No. That would have been a tough shot to make if you'd have had to play it to get through that skinny little court. Now, if the Cooey team can come around, you might see the Retornaz team. It'll change what we just talked about. They're going to have to try to blow things up because they've got to open up some way to get to the 4-foot. And in so doing, they might have to try to get back to a blank. It's not looking good for 2 right now.
Oh, yeah, I agree with you there. The good news is if they have to run that center guard in and blow things up, they still have a couple of corner guards. So if they could ever get a hit and roll later on around to the corner or get a draw around the corner, they can still maybe get a deuce out of it. But I think you're right. I think they've got to probably blow it up. It'd be very aggressive if they didn't run this guard in now. Yeah, and they're wrecking guard in.
Yeah. Saw Joel go over and take a look, and I think the angles are such that this goes underneath the yellow at the back of the 4-foot, but he did go over and take a look at it just to see if there was maybe a chance that they all go. Again, you could argue just a little unfortunate with as much as they hit at that to only kill 1. And for Cooey, as long as you can continue to sit 2, the force is alive. Because you've got the button kind of covered, albeit by a stone in the 8-foot. The steel's not out of the question yet either. The outturn side of the sheet pretty much gone right now.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's no outturn draw right now. The good news is they still have an in-turn draw to the 4-foot or to the button even, so that's all right. They might be able to raise one of those guards from the outturn side as well if they needed to.
Yeah, true.
But a pretty good situation, I think, for Team Cooey to get the force here. Now the question is, do you play some aggressive? Yeah.
Well, there's 2 reasons to look at playing the Reds. Just what we just talked about, the fact that there's nothing on the outturn side right now. So you could open up a shot on your outturn side, and plus there's also the chance. I mean, you could absolutely stick this and you're suddenly in good shape, but you keep running the yellow one back. The best you're ever going to do, you make a double, but you're going to leave. If you're making a straight back double, you're leaving a guard. If you're making the one to the corner, Kevin Cooey just continues to guard shot rock. And you've still got no outturn draw. So by doing it by playing the angle run in on the red, you could at least give yourself something on the outturn side. If you ever stick this, you go from being forced to probably having a chance for 2 in the course of one shot.
Let's see what Amherst can do here.
That was a long ways in out on the throw.
Sebastiano trying to carve it back over. He won't get it to come far enough.
Hate that because he's probably playing the red back again. Just make a wider target if you come back there. Yeah, I don't love that. I don't love the outturn draw.
Yeah, I don't love the outturn draw.
They think he's playing that outturn. I don't mind this. I mean, it seems silly, but if you think he's going to play that, how else do you take it away? There's a good thought. Tyler Tardy talking about hit it and roll to the other side of the center. Now you take the in-turn away. He's still going to have the outturn. You take the in-turn away, but you also take away his run-in stone. That's not a bad result. He's still only got one turn, and he doesn't have anything to run in.
Yeah, and if you land it as that guard on the other side, you're protecting your yellow stone. That's right now actually shot
the one
stone.
that's actually shot stone. Yeah.
Yeah, because right now, Team Retornaz, they could just draw to the 4-foot, or they could even hit that back stone and roll into the 4-foot as well. So I don't mind this either. It does require a little bit more precision.
Yeah.
If you want to leave a second guard up, but I like the call.
Yeah, the more you think about it, right? Because as much as the first thought is, well, I hate to, he doesn't have anything in the outturn. If I peel the guard, he's got something. But you make the good roll, you can take away the in-turn, so he's still only got one turn. The outturn draw by itself is not great because of where your stone is in the top of the 8-foot. He's got to get by that stone. That's not easy. And like you said, you could guard the one that's actually shot stone. You could take away the in-turn. He's still only going to have one turn. And you get rid of his angle run-in possibility. This was very well thought out.
See if they can execute. It looks like they're kind of here.
Yeah, they maybe missed the sweep call on that. And that was, a mistake to over-roll it because now you left him the side where he could hit and roll for shot rock. You under-roll that, he still probably doesn't have much.
Yeah, this hit and roll is very inviting now.
It's probably your only shot for 2, I think.
Yeah, just because if you try to draw, it's hard to get completely buried.
Yeah, hard to put it someplace where Kevin can't pass it through the rings. Joel Retornaz with his first stone here in the 5th, facing 2, but trying to come through the port, make the hit on shot stone and roll buried, see if he can't generate a deuce. Sweep's been off and on. Whoa, they might have lost it.
Yeah, I think they did.
Rubs the guard.
You weren't panicking at all.
No, and I didn't see anything that looked like a pick, but it sure wasn't an aggressive sweep, and then all of a sudden, rubs the guard. You're in all kinds of trouble. Take one more look at it. I mean, he's sweeping it, but it's never hard. Just cleaning there, just cleaning.
There, that's when it starts to move a little bit harder, and I'm not sure.
But they've curled off the center line all weekend long, so that shouldn't have caught them by surprise.
Yeah, I agree with you. we were saying that it seems to curl a little bit more going inside out, and maybe they just missed it a little bit there.
Yeah, they missed the line call. That's the call I like if you could get there. What Kevin just did, that just tap the yellow that's there, have your shooter roll just fully open in the port, because then you block the path to the shot stone at the back of the 4-foot. And if you chip that first yellow, you can actually block some of the draw path.
Yeah, you can almost take away everything.
Yeah, he's always going to have the wide draw to the very edge of the 4-foot, but those are never easy. And one of the things that we've seen here all weekend long is that the minute you have to go wider to get into, so in this case he's not drawing to the center line, he'll be drawing to the very edge of the 4-foot. Well, the speed's different, and it has fooled a lot of teams this weekend. As soon as you have to go a foot wider, and that's what they can make him do here. They can change the path. They can make him go really wide for an out-turn draw where he has to stop it right on the tee line. Kevin's thinking about doing it from the out-turn side. The problem with doing it from the out-turn side is it's awfully hard to tap this yellow one enough that he's not going to have the same shot to the back. Well, he's going to just throw the straight guard.
Yeah, it looks like he's just guarding.
Yeah. You could come in, I guess, but you're probably just coming to the 12-foot if you're playing it this way. It's all about the line here.
Of course, if he makes this shot, he'll leave the out-turn draw for him.
Yeah. He's got to curl a bit to get off the guard or chip off.
There's a chip off the guard a little bit isn't bad.
Yeah, that plugs the hole.
There you go. As you said, taking a bit of a wider path now to get to that draw. They do need a good chunk of the 4-foot here.
The line shouldn't be the issue here. I mean, they've got plenty of room. It's not like they swing real big. The issue is going to be that as soon as you've changed the path, and that's a foot wider than they would throw for draw to the button. So how long has it been since a rock's traveled down this particular path on the ice, and will the speed be different? It's a fun question for us. It's nerve-wracking for them.
Well, we'll find out soon if he's throwing it good.
Just cleaning, so they think it's close. Boy, it's starting to curl now.
Yeah, it is. I've
starting
noticed
to curl early.
Here.
It's got to get by the yellow at the top of the 8-foot. They're going to have to go. And they left it too long, and it comes up short. It's a steal at 2, and you hate to sound too prophetic, but that's what's been happening when you have to go that little bit wide, and it's not just the thrower. Like, Joel threw that shot well enough to make it, but the brushers don't know the speed there either, and they weren't able to get on it quick enough. It comes up short. Take one more look at it. It never looked like it picked or anything. They were just watching it earlier, and if you're down the same path that's been well polished all end, the speed was probably good, but you have to go that little bit wider into stuff that's maybe hasn't been played in a while. And by the time they realized they had to go, they weren't able to drag it far enough. To steal it 2, Kevin Cooey with a 5-1 lead going into the 6th.
Brett, come on, man. I know Aztec's #1 for online safety training, but we really should be out here practicing.
I know, guys. I'll be right there. Just let me finish this course on gas detection. Wait. Do you smell that?
The 2025-2026 Grand Slam of Curling schedule is out, with big events happening all over Canada, like the Masters heading to London in September, the Tour Challenge from Nisku this October, the Canadian Open from Saskatoon in December, and the Players' Championship from Steinbeck coming in January. Early bird weekend and full event passes on sale now at gsoctickets.com. Let's rock!
gut. Well, with a 4-point lead as we begin play here in the 6th, the Cooey team throws the first one in, and Carrick Martin puts it right on the button. Retornaz through the center guard. I guess wanting it in the no-tick zone. If you throw the corner guard, we saw the Cooey team already play the corner tick.
Yeah, I think you're right. We could have either ticked it sideways closer to the board or even ticked it into the rings and then made a hit on it afterwards.
I think in this case you would play the doubles tick where you push it into the rings and make sure you're able to hit something on the next one.
Yeah.
So you throw the center guard touching the center line so that it can't be moved. Wants a long guard, but you'd like it over the hog line. That's a little too long.
Yeah, that one wasn't even close, actually.
No.
And that long guard is one of the hardest shots for a lead to play these days, but
I
with
know what you mean, but I would argue that it's harder for the second. Like the lead plays it all the time. The second doesn't get to play it as much, and then when you do, it's usually a critical shot. It's because you're down and they've already peeled the long one, and suddenly you have to throw a shot that the second probably doesn't even practice it a lot. The lead, you know the shots you're going to play as the lead, so you go out to throw practice stones. I've seen them do it where you're just trying to throw it to the long hog line, and again in practice you don't care if it's over. You just want to be within 3 feet of it one way or the other. You know that your brushers can make up the difference on that, but I go back to a generation where you were those shots were hard to throw because it cost you a round of drinks if you hogged one, and so you just had it in the back of your mind. I'd never want to be light.
And then you depend on how much your sweepers want to drink or not.
Well, that's right. A good sweeper knew how to make it look like they were sweeping, but there was still an inch of air between their brush and the ice.
Well, there was nothing good that Team Cooey could have done on that last rock, so Shlishinsky was asked to just throw it through. Oh, a freeze.
And now he'll be peeling the guard.
Absolutely. This end should get pretty routine here for Team Cooey. They've got shot and second shot stone right now, so eventually the Italians will have to make a move on those yellow stones. Team Cooey will be pretty happy to just keep peeling away here.
The nice thing now for Joel, he doesn't necessarily have to. Yeah, I wouldn't be guarding there. I'd be throwing the corner now.
I would be throwing the corner guard as well right now.
Yep. He's going to peel it anyway. Let him peel on the corner, because the problem with throwing the center guard, it becomes a timing issue. We see this all the time, right? You throw guards, you expect your opposition to peel. Well, at some point in time, and it doesn't matter what the end is or what the situation is, at some point in time, if you throw one too many guards, your opposition is going to switch gears, and now you're in trouble with a steal. Well, that's what could happen here. It's not going to happen yet. It won't be on this stone. Kevin will peel this one for sure, and I would think at least one more. But at some point in time, you throw one too many center guards, Kevin will just throw another one and say, we're going to steal two now. And you don't know which stone it's going to be where he's going to do that. If you throw your guards to the corner, that's never going to happen. And you still need him to miss a peel to have any chance to do anything this end. Your chances aren't good of that happening.
Whatever the case may be, with a 4-point deficit, they do kind of need a little bit of a mistake here by...
You do. You're going to need a nose hit on a peel, which is hard to do with as lively as these stones are. But I'd be throwing, as we watch this coming in, I'd be throwing the guard to the corner guard to the right hand side of the sheet, and maybe hope that you tempt him to try to get everything and he runs it into the red and jams something. It's just the chances that he's going to nose hit a peel in the middle doesn't seem very likely.
Okay, the guard went up. Heel is made.
Yeah, that's the other frustrating thing about it in a situation like this. It always takes you about 24 seconds to get the guard up, and by the time you make it back down to the other end to sweep the next rock, the guard's already in the back corner. Well, you can see Joel has already decided we might be at that point where if we throw one more guard, Kevin's just going to switch gears on us. So what do you do? Yeah, I'm not sure this works either. He's talking about coming around everything, but I think if you nose hit the red, it would drag onto this stone.
I think if you're going to drag,
yeah, I think if you're going to play it, if you could, you need to play it from the other side. And I still am not sure that it works on this ice. Looking to come around the 3 stones in the 4-foot, and even if you're just hanging on in the back 12 is good. You want some separation, but you got to bury. Really going to have to go to get this by. I'm not sure he's got the weight either. Well, he does. They get it by. That's not bad.
Actually, that's pretty good. I mean, it is only half buried, but...
Yeah, so they're just going to pick the back one out. You almost could nose hit the front one, and you might get both of them, but if it ever touched the one at the back of the button, you might leave the one at the back of the 4-foot.
Yeah, just straight pick here. Just have to be careful not to throw Yellowstone.
Brushes off and on. That's usually a good sign. He'll hit about half, rolls away. I saw Amos signaling for everybody to come down. They want to talk about this one. Where do you put this stone? So what Joel's thinking about is the little tap on the red stone. Well, that looks like more than a tap. So he's talking about hitting it, and then have the red stone pop into the open and hopefully not leave a double. I thought initially when he looked at the tap, I thought he was trying to hit this right on the nose, but only with about, you hit it with about back 8-foot weight right on the nose and have the red and the yellow split, you'd leave a wall back there. Everything behind the tee line except for your shooter.
Yeah, your shooter being in the top of the 8, you'll have a yellow, red stone on the back of the 4-ish.
There'd be some kind of double on the yellow, so you can't just ignore everything.
But they are playing it with the hit.
Yeah,
they don't leave a double or make the double as...
Yeah, if they wanted to curl a little bit more, they were hoping that the first stone would have slid farther over to the side. As it ends up...
just nose hit double here.
Yeah, you don't expect Kevin Cooey to miss this very often. Might have to pick twice. And Carrick Martin thinks the same thing, so he's going to make sure it's nice and clean all the way out to the hog line.
So with the broom there, is he going for the out turn or the in turn?
I think the in.
Yeah, you're right.
He throws them both really good. There's a comfort level for him with the out turn, but
you can see the lively rocks that went out with no problem.
One point's not really much good for Joel, so you get a single here, you need to steal a deuce somewhere just to get to an extra end. So you play for the double, and then you're going to see them go whole hog in the 7th end. You need 3.
Yep.
Now, you've got a 5 rock free guard zone and a no tick zone. 3s happen, but you can't play any defense. It's going to be all out offense, try to score, and you still need a bit of a mistake somewhere. Got to make this double first. I'm not sure he's got enough of it.
2 pin, I think.
Yeah, he jammed it, and that might be handshakes. It is. So Kevin Cooey, with back-to-back wins, who won the game at 6 o'clock, gets right back onto the ice a little after 9. Picks up those 2 wins in this qualification process and moves himself into the championship round tomorrow morning, the round of 8 here in Swift Current at the RBC Dominion Securities Western Showdown. We want to thank everybody for watching with us all weekend long here on the Curling Stadium Network, and we look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. 4 draws of action tomorrow between the men's and the women's play to determine our 2 champions. It'll be really exciting. It's been great action all day long, all weekend long. 1 day left to come. On behalf of myself, Sean Joyce, my partner tonight, Jason Chang, and Connor Sims on the production, we thank you for joining us tonight and look forward to seeing you again tomorrow.